Hello and welcome to Stars Without Number Abandon. I'm just going to hand it straight over to Liam to take over the show. Liam?
Cool. First of all, Matt can't English very well. This is Abaddon.
I knew that.
Which
Abaddon.
is Abaddon. Either way, it's not an English word. That's fine. It's okay, Matt.
I've been going the past week assuming that was abandon. Like, all of my documents say abandon on
it.
Sweet.
Well,
you suck at English then, Matt.
I do.
It's
you raise a valid point.
You couldn't copy paste the word?
No, I didn't.
So we'll do this. We'll do this slightly strangely. Instead of me kind of setting the scene, we're going to get basically straight into it as soon as I set the scene. So we'll go around and everyone will introduce their characters first. Starting with whomever. So I guess Matt, you can go first as you're directly above me in the cameras.
Alrighty. My name is Dr. Myra Matua. I go by Dr. Matua or just Doc. I have a roundish face, blue eyes, black hair that's pulled back into a tight braid. I'm of Polynesian descent. I wear think the Star Trek, from the first generation Star Trek, the female, they're weird skimpy dresses, except it's less creepy than that. It's grey pants under that and medical boots of that sort of thing. I also have a medical device, a medical scanner, bioscanner attached to my wrist that is constantly feeding me information about the people around me. I think that's the general gist of Myra.
Cool. Quack?
I am playing, what the fuck is my character's full name? Gwendolyn Langley, or Gwen. She's a somewhat tall person. She, from growing up in space most of the time, she has long brown hair, big eyes, glasses. She generally wears scientist clothing. She wears a science, a fancy science jacket. You do notice that she probably has not implants, tech built into her clothes and stuff, as well as she's always wearing an earpiece. And yeah.
Cool. Nut?
Sweet. My character's name is Morgan. He has bulging muscles, overstretched ashen hide that is amazingly durable. And he sports a unique grainy texture filled with natural ripples. It's almost like touching sandpaper, I'm thinking.
Yeah, it would be the texture of sharp or something, whatever that feels like.
Yeah, and parts of that has evolved into thick protective plates, carry an almost armor-like quality to it. His hair is a spiked brown mess of coarser sandpaper. And he's got these, almost animal, but sort of human, black pupil eyes, and thick, very animated face, with the eyes of a sparkly vampire. Yeah. And he's wearing usually he's just wearing an undersuit and half of a business attire. It's business casual, I think. So no tie, at least on the ship.
Cool. And Lane?
I'm playing Constantine. Unlike the much more formal members of the group, he is very alt-punk chic, wearing brazen crimson colors for pants and his inseam of his jacket, the trench coat. He has short spiky hair with a long tuft that covers a singular eye. What's another good detail? Pretty face. It's pretty cut up now from an incident from his past, but You still can wow a certain sect of the girls out there.
Emo.
Sweet. Okay. So to set the scene and where we see these random assortment of people, we fade up on almost like a mess hall. There's a table, small kitchen area, and it's pretty apparent, I think, straight away that we're on a ship of some sort. You can hear the faint hum of a reactor in the background behind the small amounts of chatter. And looking around, there are maybe 9-10 people seated here, and we see the four of our characters seated together at a table. And printed on the side of one of the bulkheads, we see a logo of a planet that is, probably the most recognizable one in the solar system, Saturn with its rings. And kind of emblazoned on the ring, it says Saturn Corp. And then printed below that, it's kind of stenciled in, it says the Kendell, which is the name of your ship. The Kendell is a relatively minor freight hauler from Saturn Corp. It runs basically all sorts of supplies around the outer planets, only occasionally making a trip down the gravity well to Earth or Mars. So how do we see, like, you guys you're basically, anyone who's here, the crew of the Kendell is around 65 people on average. So there's anyone here is off duty. So what do we see you guys doing in your time off?
I feel like that. I'm not sure of how Matt would think about this, but I feel like Gwen and Matt would be arguing about something to do with like science or something like that.
Oh yeah, you're like super technology focused, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely arguing about like the importance of technology, and like I'm like of the side that technology isn't as important as like biotech, and that's the future, and like we're gonna improve everything by biotechnologies, and you're like, no, fuck that, it's all about technology.
It's all about the living brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm playing video games.
Hell yeah.
What are you playing?
Yeah, that's a good question. What are you
Oh
playing?
my god, it's like Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go for the solar system. That'd be fucking pretty
Except
dope.
it's Pokemon Solar Go.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I love the
incredibly
idea
good.
that the Nintendo is still a thing 200 years in the future. It's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Nintendo clearly owns all of Earth at this point.
I mean,
There's
it's
just
possible,
like,
right?
There's this like common area where there's just a bunch of Pokemon, and he's just standing there. This large guy with his bulgy muscles and his business shirt is just like, poking at his phone.
How big is your phone compared to your hands?
It's probably especially made. It's like a large tablet-like thing, as big as
Okay,
your head.
I like it. And what do we see Constantine doing?
You would see him, much like our big friend over there, on his phone, flicking through messages, while in the other hand, having a big fuck-off glass of whiskey to get through this day.
Sweet. Okay. So yeah, around you there's a few different groups chatting away and kind of minding their own business. The crew, like, you all know each other, you're all familiar with each other, but obviously some people get along with people better than others. You're currently on the arse end of a 8-month round trip that is taking you from Europa to Titan. And then back to Europa, where you're essentially just delivering supplies from a Saturn Corp production line to Europa where they're needed. It's a pretty boring job, but any sort of these like long haul freight jobs, they do actually pay pretty well. So, what would your jobs be on the ship? Why would you be here?
I'd probably say I'm the communications tech. I'm a communications tech.
Cool. You're probably like with your kind of skills, you're probably one of the higher ones. There probably aren't too many comms techs. You'd probably answer directly to the like chief engineer on the ship.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Mario would be like
What-
the chief medical doctor, like in charge of
Cool.
physicals and doctor.
Yeah,
duties.
sure.
Security.
Hell yeah. And Constantine?
Fuck it, morale.
Ah, so you're
I mean, like, that's
you're the ship's sex doll.
Jesus Christ. On flights that go like a lot of these journeys are 10, even 11-month round trips if you're having down the gravity well. Like that's a job. That is actually a legitimate job. Is like I'm here to make people feel good. Like that's what I
More
do.
than one way.
Whiskey.
Cool. So as you guys are kind of sitting, doing whatever you're doing, enjoying yourself, you hear the comm system that broadcasts around the ship come on, and you hear a familiar voice of a man you all know, Carl Lowe, who is the captain of the Kendall. He says, "Howdy, boys and girls. We are we're about 3 weeks from our last stop back on Europa, and heard that a few of you boys will be jumping ship with us when we drop off here. So once we drop back to a more suitable G-burn, we're have a little party on the mess hall if anyone wants to come and join us. Yeah, it'll be a good time. I hope to see you all there." And he cuts off. And you guys know, like, so the Kendall sees a lot of like temp people. There are people who are on the ship who are here for life, and like those people. Those are the people who have made it really high up in the ranks. The captain, the XO, chief engineer. Like these people will probably never leave the Kendall. This Kendall has become their home. But a lot of the crew and a lot of the other people on board, they'll jump on, they'll do 1, 2, 3 trips, and then they'll jump ship to another one. It's a life that a lot of spaces kind of lead. Strangely enough, the Kendalls had maybe 2 or 3 trips with the same group. So, it's probably been a year. Actually, Matt, you're probably actually the most recent assignment.
I'm probably the most recent assignment, and like the only reason I'm the chief medical doctor is because the last one died. And
yeah, absolutely. The old one was probably old as shit.
They either retired or died. Going
I
living
think
on a
everybody in
planet.
our party. I'm not sure. Like, who would be on the ship longer? Like, who do you say is the longest person on the ship?
You guys tell me.
I'd probably say either me or Constantine.
I'm gonna say it's you. Oh, fuck you guys. I have not been spending my career on this ship.
Since I work for Saturn Corp anyway.
You're like this washed out musician that's just like, oh, I'm gonna take this job as a morale
I'm like
officer.
22. How am I washed out?
Because you peaked at 16.
Oh.
Yeah, I was the Beaver of Mars.
Yeah, you were literally the Justin Bieber. Sweet.
And now
Cool.
you're playing music on a shitty backwater ship.
That's how it goes.
Damn. So you guys. So one thing I should note quickly. So whenever a ship is burning, around anywhere above 3G, there's essentially a chemical concoction of drugs that you have to take every 4 hours. It's essentially so you don't die from the high G. That combined with a suit called a burn suit essentially keeps blood in your body and flowing correctly to stop your body from just shutting down at high G. So at the moment you're at a relatively high burn. The Kendall, while fully loaded, can probably only manage a 4G burn at most. So yeah, like you're burning near the limit of that. So It depends. Those of you who are like spacers and spent a lot of all your life in space, hopping between ships, you probably don't have to worry about it as much. Those of you who are spacers who have spent your life on space stations and not on ships, it's hell for you, and you definitely have to worry about it.
Oh no.
And Earthers and Martians also probably. It depends person to person.
I've developed
burn
a really strong concoction of this drug to make sure I'm not continuously vomiting, because I don't take well to spaceflight. So I'm really drugged up.
Yeah, like so the burn juice also suppresses that, right? Like it suppresses the nausea.
Yeah.
So
like I'm on the stuff that I'm giving. Yeah, I'm on the stuff that I'm giving Morgan, because like his biology requires it to be far stronger to like stick.
Sure.
Sweet.
I like it. All right. So as you guys are kind of sitting around doing your thing, two more people kind of like walk into the mess hall, and you recognize Christy Coleman, who's the XO on board the Kendell, and Noah Erickson, who definitely Quack, you'd all recognize her, but Quack, you know him pretty well. He's the chief engineer.
Yeah.
And they take a seat, on the opposite end of the kind of the hall from where everyone else is, and start a quiet conversation.
Are they talking about anything in particular, or we can't hear them from where we are?
You
How
don't
do
hear
they
them.
look?
Yeah.
They don't really look like nervous or anything. They're just having a conversation. The two of them are relatively close, if you get that drift.
Oh, damn it, Matt.
And they're definitely two people who are like they're here for life, right? They're never leaving the Kendell. This is their ship. Like Christy's worked all the way up to XO. She ain't going nowhere. It's a steady paycheck.
It's a very steady.
Shame you didn't give me elephant ears, Doc.
At this point, Noah's practically the second in charge of the ship, most likely. That's how that's how chief engineers generally work.
It's pretty much the next person under Christy.
I shrug at that. Well, it was hard enough splicing in shark and rhino DNA. Adding elephant to that would have been... I shake my head. I wouldn't even want to think about it.
I still don't want to think about how you made that damn thing.
Yeah, like how frequently do you speak of your work?
Yeah, so like I mean, I've only been on the ship for like how long has this journey been? Like you said, like 8 months.
This is on the arse end of an 8-month trip.
Yeah, so I've only been on the ship for like 8 months,
just over
and before that 8 months, Morgan was not the abomination he is now. So, yeah, so like everyone's aware of what I do.
I'm just the only one she can do it to.
Yeah, like he's the only willing test subject and like the only one I've cleared for experimentation. But yeah, before that 8 months, he was just a normal dude who was built.
Sure. I think I affectionately call you Dr. Frankenstein.
I'm down with that. She loves that.
I
bet. I've got a feeling that me and you continuously argue about the ethics of what you do.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, most certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. So
yeah, what she does is considered by a lot of people very ethically wrong.
Shrug. I just signed the NDA. It's okay.
That's how you do.
Yeah, there was a fucked up paperwork that came into that. All right. Cool. So basically, this is your guys' opportunity. To if there is a NPC that you guys would like on the ship that you would like to make, send me it. Send me a name and like a basic description of what they would do on the ship, and that is an NPC that would fill in one of the jobs. on board. I have a few, but if there's anyone within your backstories or general characters that you'd like on the ship, just send me a message and I can add them
Sweet.
to the ship's roster.
Time to bring the retainers back.
Oh my god.
Oh god, please no. Please no.
Oh gosh. This is why I love Blades, because you could just click the sheets and you just zoom down. You find the entire thing with all the people, and you just roll 66, and you find someone who's pretty cool.
Okay. So
I don't think there's anyone that I need.
if you can think of anyone, just drop me a message in Skype and I'll add them to the.
I sent you something in
Yeah.
Discord.
But for
The
now,
ship-
there's an
ship's
interesting
roster.
conversation with the CEO and their significant others.
Yeah, that works.
But I have Pokemon to catch, so I'm not worried.
Yeah. So you is anyone paying attention to the
I'd
EXO?
probably actually go over to them and ask see what they're up to.
Good luck.
So yeah, you walk over and you actually get like pretty much all the way up to their table before they like notice you, and at like the last second, like Noah like jumps and like spins around to look at you. He's like, "Oh shit, Gwen, how are you? What can I do for you?"
I'm fine.
He looks
I'm
a
just
bit flustered.
Is anything wrong? I was just coming to see if you knew anyone who was leaving.
Noah says, no, everything's fine, and and he lists like 3 or 4 crew members. That in passing, there's probably maybe one person from like the engineering team. Yeah, rotating off, heading over to another ship. Have a job.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there's anybody that we knew, or at least worked with.
Shakes his head. Yeah, he mentions Maurice, who's just an engineering tech. Nobody that important. Someone you've worked with from time to time. He seems, he's a nice guy, young lad, competent.
You seem a bit jumpy. You sure there's nothing wrong? I'm just, yeah.
I think Christy shoots him a look, and then Noah says, "No, seriously, it's fine."
All right then. Enjoy your talk. Go back over to our table.
Was that as awkward as it looked? Was that as awkward as it looked?
I would say so, but yes, Noah's a bit jumpy at the moment.
Noah's always jumpy.
Did you ask them if they're attending the party?
No, I did not. I was mostly wondering if anyone we knew was leaving.
Oh, okay. I'll find out real quick. I yell across the fucking thing at them. Are they going to the party?
I think Christy smiles. Fuck yeah! Not missing this opportunity.
Great.
Don't do it. He's a horrible singer.
Got 8 months' pay. Shut the fuck up.
Fuck.
Morgan, are you going to the party?
He looks at you, looks at his phone, and nods.
I bet you 30 credits that you can't drink 10 bottles of vodka.
Can I take that bet?
You will die.
10 bottles.
Come on, Morgan. I've seen you do more than 10.
Constantine,
I mean,
I think if you took that
Yeah,
bet, you
but
would
that's
die.
like a consecutive thing.
Do you want to take
Well-
the bet or not?
25 credits.
Okay, sure. I'll pay you less credits if you drink 10 bottles of vodka.
Yes.
You know what's going to win. Why even bother asking?
You don't want to waste all your pay on me.
You're such a nice man, Morgan.
I'm excited to see it.
It's like, yeah, that's a compliment. Thanks.
Always a pleasure.
I think a lot of Myra's time is spent getting Morgan to do dumb shit.
Yeah,
just to
there's
test the limits of what his new biology is capable of.
There's just a loud crack as he cracks like his neck or something. Like,
I can't do it right now.
yeah.
Cool. So you see. I think okay. So you hear you hear so from over the table where Noah and Christy are sitting. You hear Noah like raise his voice slightly. It's not by much, but it's noticeable. He says, "You fucking," and he like looks around, and like they put their heads closer together. And then like they whisper back. They say something back and forth. The conversation gets a little bit more animated. And Noah like pushes himself back from the table, throws up his hands, and goes, "You're fucking kidding me, EXO? That's bullshit." And he turns around and like walks out.
10 credits says she's pregnant.
I don't know. That man runs a tight ship. He wouldn't want to compromise his, I don't know, XO.
And then
Morgan, she's
Christy,
the EXO,
like-
he's the engineer.
Yes.
Christy stands up, like kind of like straightens her like Saturn Corp uniform that's over the top of the burn suit. Like looks around a bit sheepishly and then walks out.
I just watch her as she leaves.
Myra runs after, like gets up. I'll be back in a minute, and trots off after
Oh.
her.
Frankenstein, tell her we're going to have vodka. That'll make her feel better. Go.
I nod and go after her.
Yeah, you quickly catch. She's not walking fast.
What would it be, EXO Coleman or?
Yeah, just even just EXO is fine.
Okay.
She's
Probably just the officer, if anything.
she's not overly formal.
Yeah. Okay.
Most people literally just refer to her as EXO.
Okay. Yeah. Like I trot up to her. You doing all right, EXO?
She nods. Yeah, fine. Thanks for asking.
It seemed a bit of a blow up there. No, we're doing
She
all
shrugs.
right.
That's for you to ask him. Shrugs again. I don't know.
All right. If you want to talk, I am the chief medical officer. That includes psyche valves.
She laughs. I don't need a fucking shrink, but thanks.
Well, it is mandatory, but sure.
You're aware she hasn't gone to one of the mandatory shrink
yeah,
tests
yeah.
like the entire time she's been on this ship.
Yes. I'm like, I'll see you Thursday for your mandatory evaluation.
She stops like and like actually laughs. She's like, you know I'm the XO, right? I
There'll
can
be
change
vodka.
shit like that. And she sighs and just continues walking down the passageway.
Yeah, I'll take that as a yes, and I go back to the squad.
So what's the word on hugs and kisses?
There'll be vodka.
You know what? You're all right. The fact that you put up a distillery, it's medicine.
Look, there's no point in knowing biology if you can't get turned off of it.
I'm fairly sure the distillery is probably already on the ship.
Oh, definitely. Morgan doesn't know that.
Yeah,
though.
yeah, but this is like extra vodka.
And if anything, I'm the one who fucked with it more than him.
Oh yeah, but I brought the special ingredients.
I love the idea. I love the idea that Myra is like bootlegging
gambler.
He's
Bootlegging
like
vodka.
bootlegging vodka on a ship that is definitely already bootlegging vodka.
Yeah. Like I'm taking the bootlegged vodka and like bootlegging it further.
Yeah,
Whatever that means.
that's great.
Like,
Probably
what is
because
a
it's weaker.
quick explanation of Saturn Corp, by the way?
What's what? Sorry.
What does actually Saturn Corp normally like do?
That's a good question.
They're actually so. Saturn Corp is at this point one of the largest corporations in the sector. It's technically everything is run by government. Realistically, the big corporations have quite a large say in actual policy that goes through. Saturn Corp was one of the original companies on Earth that made the colony ships that were sent out to Mars and Ceres and Luna. They also took advantage of that position to send, as soon as the ability to travel further distances was created with the burn juice and burn suits, they took advantage of their position as a huge manufacturer of space-going craft to essentially just seize control of the moons around Saturn. Hence their current power, economic and general power. They control a lot of produce which is made in and around the moons of Saturn, as well as some like pleasure and hotel resorts on Titan. Meant to be really nice.
Oh yes, the fart planet. The liquid fart planet.
I've been looking for Titan on this map for like 20 minutes now, and I just found it.
Saturn,
Titan has methane lakes, which is liquid farts.
It's true.
Just so you
It's
know.
it's apparently something beautiful because that's where they've set up the like luxury resorts, right? Be a hell of a view though, right? Looking out over Saturn. Oh,
It would be a very good view.
but yeah. So in answer to your question, they are a large producer of like space-going vessels. A big importer and exporter of various materials that are manufactured in and around the moons of Saturn.
And probably a lot of fuel from Saturn itself.
Yep.
Okay.
Sweet.
Works for me.
Cool.
And this is all like common knowledge and shit.
Yeah. Saturn Corp is a publicly traded company, so all of their actual business stuff is all open.
How many shares of Saturn Corp do you own, Gwen?
All of it.
Not true.
All
And
the
so it's funny, right? Because so Saturn Corp, there's you guys as like employees probably know this through the rumor mill. But Saturn Corp is a publicly traded company, which the owner of Saturn Corp owns 98% of.
yeah.
So there's 2% of the Saturn Corp on the market somewhere.
Yes, I own 1%.
It's a
That's
lot.
probably still a massive
That's
amount.
more,
That's like
more money than you've ever
trillions.
seen in your
That's
entire
like
life.
trillions of credits worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Hell yeah. Cool.
I do
Alright.
know I do know I am related to somebody who is powerful in Saturn Corp. That helps.
There are Saturn Corp's part of essentially it's run by like a managing board of directors, with the main director who's the owner. Well, the main director doesn't do much. He just kind of owns Saturn Corp and has a lot of money. He actually doesn't. He stepped back from the actual business side of Saturn Corp.
He was doing some charities on the side, right?
Yeah, right. Charities.
Is his name Bill Gates?
Definitely not. Cool. I actually haven't thought about his name, but I really like the idea that he's changed his last name to Saturn.
I mean, he
So he's
has
done
to
that.
have, right? Like,
Just
You could be
Mr.
Mr. Saturn.
no
Yeah,
one,
like literally.
no one with
Mr.
trillions of credits doesn't change their name to their entire business. Like,
Exactly.
I love that idea. So that's totally a thing now.
Just Mr. Saturn.
Just been written into
Nobody
the
knows
law.
his real name. It's just Mr. Saturn.
Cool. So, is there anything else that anyone wants to do for the
Yeah,
rest
yeah.
of this?
Hey, engine snipe. What's the word?
I assume you're talking to me.
Yeah, you're comms, right?
Yes, I am.
You hear and see things on the ship that normally passes by everyone else's ears?
Depends on what I'm listening to at the time.
Were you, perchance, listening to the conversation happening not a few paces that way? And he just like points at the corner where the
If you mean the chief engineer yelling at the XO, yes, I heard that, but I didn't know what it was about.
is that you don't have like enhanced microphones or some shit in that getup?
What
Not around the ship. You have all. You're basically you're in charge of like external stuff, right? Like you listen for
Yeah.
distress calls, all other sorts of things.
Man,
I just go.
you need to up your
I'm
spy
sorry,
game.
my equipment was
everyone.
offline today.
Really should have implanted those elephant ears. It would have been really useful.
I could still do it for you.
I refuse to be
I need
touched by
these.
You could be the Beatles, except with elephant
I
ears.
could give you the strength of an ant.
I'd rather not have anything to do with that thing over there. I point at Morgan.
If you think he's ugly, you should see what an ant would look like.
At that moment, I drink my glass of whiskey and fuck off somewhere else. I'm like, okay, we're done for right now.
Yeah, you're creepy, Doc.
Well, you don't mean that.
I mean, no, but it's appropriate to say.
You're a shark.
Only on the
Actually,
outside. On the
If you're
inside,
a
he's...
monster and you let them sit around the mess hall, aren't you afraid they're going to fucking kill someone?
What do you mean? I'm nice. I'm friendly, aren't I?
The
Just don't take
procedure
his Pokemon away.
affects the physical, not the mental. I made sure of that.
Ooh.
Listen,
Yeah.
Doc. Go ahead.
I would say augmentation, the way you're doing it, is not right.
If that's not right, I don't want to be wrong. If that's... You know what I mean.
I really don't.
Wait, listen, Doc. How many people have you done this to before you were with us?
Successfully? Only Morgan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass on the ant DNA.
I'm like 93% sure I could do it without failure.
Well, I mean, he would have to be compatible.
A 1% chance of not succeeding is too much of a chance to fail in that kind of field.
It was originally
from
a
Earth,
3%
kid.
chance of success. I brought it up substantially.
Imagine the mass of humanity down on Earth. The millions of people who sit there in welfare.
Billions.
Trillions.
Billions of people who sit there on their asses doing nothing.
So
They're
then
just
sit
waiting,
around
you know.
playing games online.
Yeah, they're just waiting for something else to do.
Oh, I bet so
Um,
many of
If
them
they
would be
want to become
compatible as
monsters
well.
like you.
Mm.
I'd say, you think they want to become monsters like you?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, fair. He's got a good point. That's a good line. Monsters
There
like
are
us. I'll
people out
remember
there
that.
who think anime is real and shit.
Morgan,
Trust me.
Morgan is the first of a new wave of humans. Superhumans, if you will. He's the first superhuman.
Mm.
You say that when I can do this. I just teleport across the room.
See?
You get a few looks. People aren't really used to that.
Right, and
People like
Morgan's
they
the
look,
freak.
so they look and they're like, oh, okay, that's just Gwen.
Just Quinn. That's what she does.
Pretty much.
Man.
I'm not sure this is how it works, but like I'm assuming that like my powers actually come from the tech I wear, not my actual self. That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
So some people have like a natural affinity towards it, but yeah, it's pretty much from the tag.
Would it still, would your brain still affect it? Like, does it give you the aptitude for it? But your tech, like, makes it possible?
Yeah. You'd have to have the brain aptitude
Yeah.
to do it in the first place, and the tech is what enhances it.
Do you teleport back to us?
This is fine. We're
Yeah.
fine.
Actually, no, I don't, because I wasted 1 point of teleportation to do that.
I mean, it was worth it, right?
Yeah.
Is your 93% compatibility for all people or just Earthers like yourself?
Anyone.
Who knows?
Where you're born
Who
doesn't
knows?
affect your genetics, just your external prowess.
Do you not know how space radiation works? It does affect your genetics.
I wave my hand. Not enough to count.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I
oh.
should have walked away when I should have.
Yeah, you know what?
You're a horrible
Let's-
doctor.
Let's help prepare for that party.
Montage.
Montage.
Dun, dun, dun.
Definite montage. Cool. So, the ship burns down. So after a short while of time, the ship burns down to about 1.2 G burn. And like you guys, although the chemicals in your system help, like lessen the impact of the G, you definitely feel the amount of weight that you're carrying, like suddenly, well, not suddenly, like slowly, like lift, right? Back down to a more normal G for Earthers. It's still probably a little bit too much for
Myra.
like people who haven't been on ships much.
Yeah.
They spend a lot of time on
It's
stations.
probably too much for me because I'm used to like low gravity environments.
Yeah, so stations as a general rule are kept at about 1.8 G. So for people who have grown up on the stations and spent most of their life on stations, not on ships or Earth or Mars, it's still probably a little bit heavy for you, but yeah.
I'd probably come from a experimental station that has like lower than Earth gravity, like 0.8 kind of thing.
Cool. And then so essentially as the ship burns down, the only people left manning the ship is the skeleton crew. So there are maybe this ship probably needs like 6 people to operate properly, but it could probably operate with like 3 people. So there's probably 3 people kept on duty while the rest of the crew are given leave to do what they want and attend the night's activities, if you will.
I probably have the comm system, like just I've opened my tablet just in case something comes through.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You got all the comms on the ship routed through to your comm panel. That's cool. So Constantine, what have you and what was her name?
This is DJ Gwendolyn.
Leona? What have you two prepared for tonight? This is your job, right? This is what you do.
Yeah, apparently. So
How
where are people going to? Where are they getting off to?
So they're getting off at Europa and doing something.
Well, beyond the classic covers that we will do, because you can't just do your own material. People get sick of that. We'll play our our famous radio hit, Europa Universalis.
Really?
Can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, I don't have that written yet. It'll come up another day, but that's the name of it.
Yeah, right next to your Residence of Evil.
What?
Europa Universalis is a game.
Yeah, I know.
So here's what you're playing.
Yeah. You literally referenced the video game. So
Yeah, that was the joke,
Yep.
guys. Don't explain the joke.
I was just trying to get you the damn link to the.
Explain the joke. It's not funny. Come on, guys.
Okay. Sorry.
I was just trying to get you a link to the main song.
Cool. So yeah, people will start slowly filtering into the main kind of like living metal kitchen type area. What are you guys doing? When do you arrive, if you do?
I arrive with.
I was
like,
already there.
Yeah, I arrived like shortly after him with my 10 mason jars filled with bootlegged vodka.
Right. You know
Man,
what, Doc? You're all right.
it's amazing that mason jar thing never died out in the 2010s.
No, it's like the revival. It only became popular in like the last couple of years. It's only for hipsters. You wouldn't get it.
Looks down at himself. It's like, yeah, all right, whatever. Tune.
I probably arrived slightly later than everyone else.
Fashionably late.
I see everyone who's entering as the doctor is bringing me these mason jars of booze.
I avoid looking at you.
Oh,
Yeah, so you see pretty much everyone. There's probably 3 people missing by the time everyone files in.
Because you'd be
Yeah.
kind of on duty too, right? Because
4 people missing.
Yep.
Good
4
my
people.
bouncer.
Hmm.
I'm pretty confident he won't be
Who's missing?
intoxicated by a 10.
So Noah isn't here. A pilot, one of the couple of pilots aren't here. A comm officer isn't here, and the what did you call him?
Morgan Cole? No, wait.
Morgan.
Let's see. Let's
Slane.
see. Slane Morriston isn't here? Oh.
Slane isn't.
Slane? That's metal as
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, they're the 4.
Yeah. So they get written on the lists, and I send it to Central.
I get a beep on my comm.
You get a list of the people.
Pretty much. You get a list of everyone who's not here.
Does he get a lot of those really weird and random messages? Just like
Yeah, he's probably used
like
to it.
weirdly obscure shit.
Yeah, he's
I've probably
probably
access
used
to
that
the
sort of
main
stuff.
comm system on this ship, so most likely.
Yep.
Like Sergeant Jefferson didn't eat peanut butter today, but he did yesterday.
Yes, exactly. This is the kind of things I do.
Awesome.
That
Love it.
worries me.
I love it.
It's also one of the reasons I'm annoyed. I don't like you as well. You
You've
send
like,
me random shit.
like blocked him at this point.
No, she can't do that. 'Cause then I would be angry. Then I would be upset.
So are any of you? So what are you guys doing?
I'm watching this big
We're taking
motherfucker
bets
drink vodka.
on whether or not I can drink these 10 mason jars.
Yeah,
All right, so shall we find out how that goes?
yeah.
Sure.
Okay. What is this system?
Can I roll to see how strong it is?
Yeah, man, sure. Why not? Let's
What
do that
would that
first.
be?
See how good this bootleg vodka is.
Would it be heal? Because that's like my catch-all for fucking around with that sort of stuff. It doesn't make
I don't think
sense.
so.
It doesn't make sense.
There are so
Work?
many things that are strange. There's work,
Yeah, I think
which is just
work.
like working scientist equipment, working the distillery.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
that
work
makes
works.
sense. Intelligence?
Yeah, sure.
But you could also like have programmed the distillery.
Yeah, and
You
you
know,
could
science
have
it.
fixed this distillery, or
There's a lot of ways you guys can
Can I
talk
have-
me into it.
can I have
Skill check.
programmed the distillery to like
Sure.
intensify
You can make it
the?
electronic.
I have program and I don't have work.
Yeah, You convince me that you should be able to use a skill on a skill check. I'll probably allow it.
No.
It's pretty good.
I just mentioned to him saying, you realize if this doesn't go well, you're probably going to kill your own creation.
I'm.
I'm the one who signed the NDA. I don't know why you're yelling at her.
Thank you.
Can
Morgan.
You let her mutate you.
Yeah.
It's not right.
And then the
So,
comparison to Frankenstein would be complete. That'd be great.
Says the person
Well,
who
can you give me a
teleports
physical
across
save?
rooms.
My tech is external. You've done that internally to him.
I tap
Well.
my head. There's something internal.
She's got
going on.
25 He's got 25. Who's got 50?
Trying to talk up the room for bets.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I think a couple of crew members walk over, and I think one of them, Laura, says,
What proof is
"What are we
normal?
betting on?"
What proof is normal vodka?
It depends on the
I
brand.
don't have any bottles on me. Like 38, 40?
40.
Some
Yeah.
can be up to
Yeah.
40. Yeah.
So I'm like, this stuff is 80% proof. Normal
So
vodka is 40.
Laura,
I mean, the moment I
Laura,
open
Laura
this
laughs.
mason
Laura
jar,
laughs. Shit, 80% proof.
I hand her
the
like
moment I open this mason jar, it'll like evaporate
Yeah.
anyway.
like
I just mentioned, you realize that's an explosive, right?
It's also could be considered moonshine. So
She, Laura and a couple of the others looks around. Laura and a couple of the others looked around. Ah, it's all right. XO and Cap on around.
Morgan's going to drink 10 of them.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
right?
What's
not
the
gonna
bet?
be here for this.
The
I
cat.
walk out of the room.
Oh no! I sent you a list.
did you check it twice?
You get a message in your comm adding me to the list.
Yep.
So,
That's essentially 800 proof.
How that works.
No, that's not how that works.
She knows that's not how that works.
Laura,
Anyhow,
Laura,
let's
Maurice,
just
who was
you know,
standing there,
in theory it's 80.
like,
In reality, it's like 60. But I can take 10 of those.
yeah. So Laura says, "So what's the bet?"
Well, I've got 25 from her because she doesn't want to spend all her money,
I offered 30.
and we're not allowed technically to go above 500. Otherwise,
says-
ship morale will plummet.
Laura says, "What? We betting that you're gonna fail, or betting you're gonna succeed?"
You pick a number.
Succeed.
The number, if he goes above that number, you fail. If he goes under that number, you fail. The person closest. She sits back in her chair. Actually, I don't know how this works.
Look, the
Why
people
don't
who
we-
bet on the right
Laura
mason jar
says,
spread the pot.
"Yeah." Laura says, "I got 100 that he'll pass out before the last one."
All right, so we got a 9.
You know what? I think he can do it. $100 says he can drink all 10.
You even have $100?
I got 700, motherfucker.
Maurice like leans back. Maurice like leans back. He is like against the wall that he's standing next to. He says, "You know what, big guy? I got faith in you. I got 200 that he can do it."
I like faith. Yeah, I feel personally enriched by this conversation. It warms my heart to see such belief in me.
And if you do it, buddy, I'll sing you any song you want.
Sweet.
Laura laughs. Not sure how much of a reward that is, but she
Do you want me to
winks.
kick you out? Yeah.
She winks.
Yeah. Yeah, and I tell her I'll kick you out at the next station.
All right. You know my
Maurice
favorite.
says,
You know my favorite. The Rude Sandstorm.
Can Morgan get a bonus or something for being a freak shark man?
no, it's just gonna make it's just gonna affect the
Yeah.
difficulty of the check.
No, that's a good way to do it.
So the first couple checks are gonna be relatively easy, and they'll get increasingly difficult as we
Sweet.
go on. So
Great.
yeah,
So
give
by
me the
the
first
end,
one, man.
by the end of this concert, I will either have drunk all the jars, or I will
We'll be
have
dead.
failed miserably.
You won't kill him.
Oh, that would
Can't kill him.
that would be terrifying.
What I really want more than anything else right now is for you to roll a 1 on the first check.
This is why I have the Die Hard feat, which means I automatically stabilize unless hit by a heavy weapon.
I just want to see him be killed by alcohol poisoning in the first
Roll
game.
physical, man.
So before he
Give it
before he
first.
starts drinking,
No.
Myra brings up and starts monitoring his vitals and starts recording
Alright.
the data.
This is a what now roll?
Just a
Physical
physical save. Laura laughs. That's creepy, Doc.
Fail.
And
I know
you fail.
that's fine. Like I said, the first couple checks are gonna be pretty easy. They'll get increasingly harder as we go on. So the five is actually a pass for the first one. The only thing that really would have failed you is a 1 or a 2. So
All right.
Goes again.
Yeah. So he gulps down like a mason jar and he puts it like on the heads down and he says, 1.
One.
Did anyone go for a 1? No one went for a 1. Smart people. And 4.
Oh, dude.
It's getting worse.
You're getting
This
the
is
bad
getting
rolls out of the
worse.
way. That's fine. You're getting the bad rolls out of the way.
So, yeah, that succeeds. But the next one's going to be a step harder than it would have been normally because it was a dead-on success.
All right. 2.
2.
Did anyone bet 2? Good on you.
Laura's like, I bet anything under 10, man. Said I pass out before the last one.
I have
Don't
a
worry
question.
about
Is
it.
Laura Leona, or is it somebody
Yep.
else?
Number 3.
Nah, Laura is a crew member.
Oh,
Have
okay.
at thee.
This is a ridiculous amount of alcohol.
Sounds like a weekend.
No, you're going to die of alcohol poisoning in the first session. How do you feel?
This is going to be great. I'm having the
Good
time
enough.
of my life. Number 4.
Yes.
Go.
Who's up for more, eh? See, I can rhyme.
What are
Getting
his
better at
vitals
this.
doing at this point?
You start to see like the onset of being extremely drunk. Whatever that
Yeah,
does to a
yeah.
normal human's vitals, that's what it's done.
Okay.
Slowed heart. It's depressant, so I guess slowed heart rate.
It's just taken
Laboured breathing.
3 drinks of 80 proof vodka.
Well, it's started because we had that extra increase in difficulty step. It's actually starting to get pretty tough now. So
Okay.
go for it.
All right. 5.
Nice.
Yep.
Halfway there, buddy. You can do it.
Yep. No one bet under 5. See? We have a crowd here. 6.
Oh,
Oh shit.
With that,
I just watched the vitals plummet.
you drink that one, and you're like,
And lean back.
And- you lean back and just keep going back. You hit the wall and just like slump down against it.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Well, there goes
Yeah,
100
the
credits.
top, like, back in.
Laura laughs and like holds out her hand. Maurice,
Fucking bitch.
Maurice goes, "God damn it, big guy! I had faith. What the fuck?" Puts
Maybe-
like the 200 credit chip onto Laura's hand.
Maybe it was too strong?
Most people would say, Doc, that 80% proof is too strong. Yeah.
No, this is like 2 mason jars, so it's like, you know,
It's a fair
gotta
amount of
drink.
alcohol.
It's a lot of
fair amount of
alcohol.
alcohol.
He
You
drank
spent, like-
5 of them. Wait, how many did he drink? 6?
I think it was the 6th.
Yeah.
The 6th,
5.5.
the 6th was like done.
He
Five
drank
and a half.
6. He drank 6 of them. Gee, that would kill a normal person.
Pretty close too. Alright.
Oh.
In honor
So,
of the fallen comrade, I will. My character gets up to perform "Drink till you ain't ugly anymore." So,
It's not going to work. It's already too ugly.
So yeah, as that continues, I think Quack, you probably get the notification first. Like small. So in your terminal, a small like, I guess a big red triangle, like an exclamation point, pops up. That has like the words like security alert next to it. And like flashes red at you.
I take a look at it, see what's going on.
So you see, probably the pilot, who you've left behind, who I will get a name for. She is Arlene Santos, a Martian. One of the few on this boat, actually. Most people on this boat are spacers. There are a few Earthers, and then there's a couple of Martians. She you can tell from like the video feed almost instantly that she's like panicked. Something has happened, right? And she says, "Oh, security personnel. Fuck, Noah's dead." and then like the camera, you can see like shaking, and she's like, Jesus fucking Christ, and then you like it like pans away and you hear her like retching, and the compad, the viewpoint like it drops, and it hits the deck with like a clang, and for like a split second we see like a corpse on the floor, with a pool of blood underneath as the camera then hits the ground and everything goes black. Good time for first break.
Yeah, it's a perfect time for the first break.